best cars for kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Are you looking for the web's best sports news? Visit jockjournal.com. Sports media has lost its touch. It seems that journalists are scared to report what they see, in fear of losing access to the teams they cover. At jockjournal.com, you get inside information on the entire NFL community without all the politics or fears other writers have. That's jockjournal.com. When you need the NFL sports news, information, opinions, fantasy football, or discussions, there is only one place to go, and it's jockjournal.com.
So, all you guys out there, you wouldn't go to the local grocery store to buy your wife's engagement ring, would you? No, you probably wouldn't. But there are tons of anglers out there buying fishing shirts sold by hunting apparel companies. Let me tell you something. Osha Vida is a true fishing apparel company focused on the coastal lifestyle. The clothing is designed specifically to handle the elements that anglers deal with on their fishing trips, such as staying dry, cool, and protected from the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays. Ocean Vida uses proven water-resistant technology, moisture-whisking fabrics, strategic air ventilation, and a high ultraviolet protection factor. All of the designs and color choices are reflective of the bright and relaxed coastal lifestyle. Order your Ocean Vida apparel today and use the Jock Journal Radio 20% off coupon code FishJock. That's FishJock with no spaces, just one word. FishJock. Order online today at oceanvida.com. Vida is V-I-D-A. oceanvida.com and get your 20% off before the sale ends. Stay dry and cool when you're reeling in your next big fish.
You are listening to Jock Journal Radio. News, opinion, and discussion for all you jock stars.
Support for this show comes from Material. Material is a simple and intuitive e-commerce platform that lets you get your online store started without paying a dime. That's right. No ads, no setup costs, no transaction fees. Experience a fresh and easy new way to sell online by signing up at material.com today.
Okay, we're back. I had to surf porn and post my pics on an adult website.
Okay, guys, we are back. Welcome back, Jock Stars. Matt is going to have to head out as he is too intimidated by all the facts and the power and the godliness that is Russell Wilson, both on the field and off the field. He has decided to concede this argument, step down, back away, and run away in utter terror and fear because my quarterback is better than his.
He's right. Russell Wilson he's totally right. Russell Wilson is elite. Seattle is heading back to the Super Bowl this year. I actually just went, and I'm going to put $50 on them to go to the Super Bowl.
No!
And I'm going to root for them in every single game that they play in. I'm going to buy a Russell Wilson jersey right now. So I am excited. Go Seattle. Yes, this is the game they're going to continue and do so well at. I'm really just excited for them to crush Cleveland because I know that they're going to win, and I'm going to be rooting for them with everything I've got.
And those who don't know Matt very well knows that the moment that Matt is all in on something is the moment that it always falls apart. Every year that Matt gets excited about some team going to that next level and winning, and he gets like a shirt or starts like really rooting them on, the guy's out for a year with a knee injury or something like that. So thanks, Matt, for hexing the Seattle Seahawks and ruining Russell Wilson's chances. However, we know at this point you're really just nothing full of caca, and there's not going to be a real big issue because you're not really invested. You're just doing this to get my goat.
I'm getting invested. So, yes, with that, I will have to go. Sorry, kids are still up. It's been a little hectic. But as soon as I get back, we're going to be on full time. So I'm excited about that. And thanks for picking up the slack tonight, Nash.
Yeah, no problem. Take care, Matt. We'll enjoy. That was Matt, jockjournal.com, and he is gone. So, guys, tonight I am going to have the fun of going through all the fantasy football options for you going into week 15. And I want you guys to go ahead and call me because I have nobody else to talk to out there in Radioland. I need you to help me fill in all the blank. I can't just be here talking and having my opinions go out there to radio world without being told every now and again I'm an idiot. So this is your chance to say, Nash, you're a freaking moron. And give Nash a call at 405-562-5463. So let's talk some fantasy football and get that going for everybody and begin the discussion regarding the fantasy football world. Okay, guys, first off, when you're picking out your fantasy team, the first thing you always got to do is look at what you believe is the best quarterback. And in the DraftKings situation, we typically go with whoever's the highest person as far as cost as being the most productive option. However, that's not always the case. Last week, I was able, and I'm going to go ahead and rub it again because Matt's not here to go ahead and talk crud, but I was able to win with a great deal with Russell Wilson. He had a great game, threw 5 touchdown passes and almost 300 yards passing. He's been on fire. But here are some quarterbacks to look at. First, Carson Palmer at the Eagles. The Eagles have been giving up the passing attack like it's going out of style. And Palmer has now amassed 4,003 yards for the season, which is the NFL's second highest total behind Tom Brady. Plus, his 31 touchdowns are only second to Tom Brady. Now, I know what you're all saying. Well, if he's second or behind Tom Brady, why not choose Tom Brady? Well, that's because Tom Brady is playing the Titans, and Titans, though not a powerful defensive entity to deal with, he does not have fully healthy receivers. Rob Gronkowski was able to come in and do okay for him with 4 receptions, 87 yards, and a touchdown last week. But without Edelman or Dion Lewis, Amendola, it's been a very difficult situation for Brady to try to hold all that together. Brady was held to just 226 yards last week. Although he did manufacture 2 touchdowns, it's not a great situation. However, you all know my pick, and I'm going to have to take a moment to support it. Russell Wilson versus the Browns. If you haven't thought about this yet, you're a freaking moron. And I'm going to tell you why. First off, Russell Wilson does not have a person he normally can hand the ball off to. So that means that against the Cleveland Browns, who are not a good defense, Russell Wilson is going to be asked to pass a whole lot more. And those passing attacks over the last 4 weeks have generated 1,171 yards through the air, and in 4 games of 292 average yards per game, and it has produced an amazing 16 touchdowns. And now he's going to be throwing it even more because he's going to have to. He doesn't have anybody to hand the ball off to. Guys, their whole receiving core is on fire. Doug Baldwin, all those touchdowns, all those receptions, all those yards. Tyler Lockett is coming on. He's looking strong. He's making big plays. He even had 2 touchdowns last week. Don't forget Javon Curse and his ability to make ridiculous circus catches at ungodly clutch times. Russell Wilson is definitely your pick for quarterback this week in your daily fantasy. And if he's on your fantasy football team as you're going into the playoffs, you better be playing him or you're just being stupid. You really are. There's no sense to play anybody else. He is, at least my belief, for the number 1 pick. Cam Newton at the Giants is another good choice. Cam Newton has an exceptional fantasy quarterback throughout this entire season. Much of his success can be attributed to his big play prowess, along with the capabilities as a dual threat. Plus, after throwing 17 touchdowns in the last 7 games, he's now forged his way among the league's leaders in passing. Guys, those are your big plays. But some other mentionables are Blake Bortles versus the Falcons, another good setup. and Aaron Rodgers playing the Raiders. Aaron Rodgers has a gift of exposing slow safeties. And who's slower than Charles Woodson as a safety at 38 years old? I don't think there is one. I think that guy could only run a 40 in about 4.8 these days. Not to take anything away from his amazing career, he just isn't getting it done as that ball-hawking free safety that he has been for many years, and he definitely doesn't have the skill set to be a cornerback anymore. He still gets lost in man-to-man defenses, and he's not fast enough to play the zone like he once was. So now that I've talked about quarterbacks, here's an opportunity for you guys to call in and ask me, sit them, start them, what do I do, Nash? Well, just go ahead, dial 405-562-5463. Again, that number is 405-562-5463. Running backs. Running backs are something to consider this week especially because there have been so many injuries, so many things going on. It's been tough to pin down which running back is the one to play this week. However, the must-starts for this week are Adrian Peterson versus Chicago. Chicago has not had a good run-stopping line front seven since the loss of Brian Urlacher. Adrian Peterson in Chicago will be running all day because Teddy Bridgewater is losing the faith of the team very quickly. LaShawn McCoy is going to Washington. LaShawn McCoy will be there, and he's going to be in a tough spot. I think that this is a place where Buffalo in the cold weather is going to be asked to rely on LaShawn McCoy's ability to grind the ball out on the ground. Todd Gurley versus Tampa Bay is another really good pick, but what's even a better pick, in my opinion, is Doug Martin versus St. Louis. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, man, Doug Martin's just a little too small of a running back to be able to handle the size and the strength of that very physical front seven of the St. Louis Rams. Trust me, he'll be okay. He might be the smallest guy on that Tampa Bay roster, but he's got a lot of heart, and he'll find ways to make things happen. And then your number 5 pick is a guy who's been leading running backs for at least half the season at this point, Devontae Freeman. He's going into Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's pretty good at stopping the run. But this is a division opponent, and when these types of things match up, you just really never know. From the 7-7 on the text line, my fantasy question is, who is going to be Seattle's starting running back? And the rest of your text from the 651 was kind of cut off, so I asked that you finish it, and I'll go ahead and talk to you about the Seattle Seahawks starting running back. Currently, they have Bryce Brown and Christine Michael recently re-signed today. However, both are in kind of a bad situation. Bryce Brown has a tendency of putting the ball on the ground, and so does Christine Michael. They have both the ability to be number one running backs, but they both have the same issues, one with pass blocking and the other one with holding on to the ball. It's almost like they're carbon copies of each other, and I think what's going to happen is Seattle's going to test them both out on different series. One being the running back to handle the ball in one series, the other to handle the ball in the other series, with Fred Jackson being the number 3 back and handling passing downs because he's a good blocking back and can catch out of the backfield on third downs. First and second down is not going to be as big of a worry or a concern against the Cleveland Browns, as I suspect Seattle will be probably depending more on the legs of Russell Wilson running the ball than they will be on either Christine Michael or Bryce Brown running the ball. I just don't think that they're going to put too much emphasis on people who have a tendency of fumbling the ball and lack ability in pass protection. They're liabilities, but both of them have been with the Seahawks, and both of them know the system. So it's a good situation for them at this point to have people in there who are familiar with the way they do certain things. We got the 763 calling in. Thank you so much. Caller, go ahead. Where is the 763? Is this Javi?
Yeah, it's me, Nash. What's up?
Oh, Javier. How you doing, man?